First rule of top secret jobs, don't take them. First rule of working with politicians, don't do it. First rule of contacting the police, avoid it. And what do? Break them all at once. Gotta say, V, I'm a little impressed. Is impressed the word for it? Oh, I saw that at a point. 1 perk point available. Time to explore the weird trees, and then forget whatever my priority was last time, is usually what happens. Reduce component cost of crafting items by 15%. Obvious thing to invest in. It's funny, I keep going like sunk cost and going deeper into that tree just because I'm already in it, basically. But if given the chance, I would just delete all of my crafting points entirely. It hasn't actually helped me in any particular amount. Like, it's a really, that's a significant investment in a tree for the gamble of maybe you'll get the recipe and the right parts for the gun and be able to craft it and have that last more than like an hour before you are just like immediately outrank the weapon and you've leveled too much and like higher level stuff's just dropping everywhere on its own. Like, I don't know. I was kind of curious, I guess, but immediately regret being down the being invested in crafting in particular. Like, I think it tipped me over the edge a little bit by being the thing that you also use to open doors. So like I wanted to open doors with it. And I do. I have 2 different door opening skills. But if I were to make a new character, I would definitely not do what I'm doing. I mean, really all I use is stealth. It's kind of the funny thing about this character. Like, this is the stealth stat, and that's the primary thing that I get out of this. Other than that, it's like I'm using pistols, and for a lot of this game, I've been now using a smart, like, SMG or whatever it was. Like, I use 2 different guns that both benefit from the reflexes stat, which is my lowest stat in the game, and I have, like, no points invested in any of these trees. And yet, an assault weapon and a handgun weapon category are the 2 most used weapons I've been using for most of the game. And on one hand, it's like it's a bummer, just like how you just don't know what you're gonna get yourself into when you go into these games. So it's like you can just you spec in one thing and then quickly find mechanically that you want to go in this other direction, and you're like, well, fuck, my character's not built for that. It's kind of hard to fix that. But on the other hand, the fact that like I'm so hilariously effective without having any points in half the things that I'm using, like that raises some questions about the skill trees themselves and how valuable they ever were. The number of one-shot headshots I do.
Thanks.
The fact that I get so many instant kills with the pistol while not being spec'd into pistols, or both on the skill tree level and the stat level, is like kind of fascinating. It's obviously not completely in a vacuum because I am spec'd into stealth, which has pistol skills.
Probably gonna be more than 1, but all right.
Don't tell him nothing. Don't get involved. This muck is deeper than you think. Suck you in if you're not careful.
If I don't give them something, they're not gonna pay me.
We'll manage without that.
There's no sense in which you gotta eat.
Fine, do whatever the fuck you want. Not like you listen anyway.
I don't really care about the pay because obviously I'm always doing fine and I don't seem to have that much incentive to even spend the money I have most of the time. Really just all the progression systems are a little like valuable. They're all a little undervalued. But no, I mostly picked that because they're like, hey, here's 3 different options to consider. By the way, you have 10 seconds. Go! It's like, there's like a little 5-second bar that just vanished. I was like, oh, God, press something. I hate being rushed during dialogue. You obviously have like a time. This is a really weird visual. Obviously, there's a timing in which you would respond to somebody when you're talking to them in real life. But in real life, you don't pick dialogue by looking through several entire text entries, reading them from front to back, then choosing which one feels right or whatever. So like, forcing me to respond within a limited time in order to increase immersion and make the pacing of the conversation feel right just kind of feels stupid when said dialogue isn't being delivered the way that a person speaks. Like, I'm delaying because I have to use a menu to respond, so timing me on that menu just makes it double annoying, and I don't like any game that really does that.
Hello, V. Please come in. Make yourself at home. Jefferson will join us shortly.
Time limit dialogue fits best for very high tension situations that were heavily set up in advance, and so the choice is very clear in the moment. Like, save this character or that character in Mass Effect and Walking Dead, for example. Like, oh, I know who those characters are. It's really obvious what this choice is. You pick someone, they live, other person dies. Like, that tension being like, oh god, it's just a snap reaction, and you have a time limit, and then you're like, oh man, maybe I regret that, but like I had to choose someone. Like, that's when that time limit fits. Not when you're like, you have 5 seconds to pick a dialogue choice, and by the way, it's going to take you about 4 seconds to read all of them. It's like, and then half the time I'm like, I don't even know what I picked, and like, fuck, shit, sorry, It fails the premise of why they made a time limit in the first place, and games need to be more considerate about why they're doing that.
Please, have a seat.
They often choose poorly, is my experience. Vote for Pyrelaz. Why is it so fucking smoky in here? A no-holds-barred candidate with an entrepreneurial flair. What am I fighting for? An end to mega-corporate influence on Night City politics. Naysayers be damned. We can do it. All I need is a token of your support to run a campaign without corporate funding. Together we can win these elections. If I win, you win. And what do you get in return? A truly independent city. The end to mega-corporate rule. An end to making decisions that affect the city and its people from behind the mahogany desks of board members that have never set foot on the streets of Watson or Pacifica. Equal opportunities for everyone and access to education. During my first year in office, I pledged to create 20 full and 30 partial scholarships, with the eventual aim of funding the educations of the 200 most gifted students every year. There's a few things going on here. Just going on the last thing, it's like, quote-unquote gifted students are people who test well, generally speaking, and they test well because they already have a pretty good background that enables them to be studying and so on. Like, there's obviously always exceptions and outliers that like really go above their station and stuff, but disproportionately people that test well tend to be people with affluent backgrounds that have a steady home life and everything's already going well, and so they're enabled to like safely and securely educate themselves and be educated about what the significance of that, and you know, be in the right headspace when they're already young people that have all sorts of impulse problems anyway, because their brains aren't fully developed and long-term plans just aren't really part of it all. Night City's not really that kind of place, so I feel like the scholarships are still just going to go to people that live in places like this. Speaking of places like this, you're like, we're gonna free us from all these rich people. I know the poor folk. Look at me. I've been to the streets of Pacifica, and it's like, I don't know. I'm currently in your fucking high rise right now. I get the feeling you don't really. I feel like you're not really like finger on the pulse of the average society. I think this is just fog. I think it's a foggy day, and the weather is inside the building, and I don't think it's supposed to. I think this is actually a bug. I don't think that the weather is supposed to be rendering inside the building.
Shall we?
Chronicles of Titania. I can't remember if I read that one before or not. I wish that when you pick stuff up, it would tell you if you read it before. It always says new shard, and that's not what that means. New shard just means you picked it up. It could be your 70th copy of it, and it'll still call it new. I don't think I can go outside unless this door opens. Nah. I'm supposed to stick with them.
Thank you.
Oh god, what do I look like? I always forget.
Good to see you, V.
Wow, you sure look down to earth.
Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us.
Relatable.
All ears.
Case is pretty complex. Leaves a lot of questions unanswered. I'd rather not draw any conclusions yet.
But you must have an opinion.
Jeff, honey, read between the lines. The case is complicated, but dying at home of a cardiac malfunction, that's not complicated.
So we were right?
Yes, and that's enough for me. We have to be careful. Very careful, Jeff. That's what V's trying to tell us.
Thanks for your help, V. Your fee.
Holy shit. Well, she got a lot from that.
You two watch out for each other.
Well, they were very satisfied with that, apparently.
Hey there. Now, where did we leave off? Careful, please.
What, did I stumble on something? Or is that his call?
We'll return to this later.
No, that's his call. Okay. Wow. That had surprisingly little interaction. Now we wait. Kind of reinforces why there was a conversation with Johnny on the way up. You're like, oh, otherwise I'm just sitting here. And there's not even Rex and Tally to talk to each other for me. Well. There we go. There's always an excessive number of pop-ups where it's like, job updated! Job complete. I'm like, you could just open with that. I'd believe you. Aldecaldo. There's a lot going on here. Yeah, everything's kind of coming into culmination simultaneously. Check the notification for your phone. It says, here you thought your old ride was totaled for good, yet here you are now, like a phoenix from the ashes. It lives again. But how? Why now? You'd already closed that chapter of kicking up sand with nomads out in the desert, but I mean, it'd be stupid if you didn't check it out, right? You can never underestimate the past. 'Cause it sure as shit likes to take revenge. I think I've read this description multiple times, but I would only read the beginning and then I'd stop. Because it's like, oh wow, my car's back or whatever. Okay. I thought it was like some sort of repair service in the game. It's like, I don't really care about the cars in this game, so whatever. And I just kept ignoring it because of all the fucking car spam. Like, these are totally quests. This game's silly. But I think this is a Nomad quest. We'll see. I want to finish what I'm already doing first. So, first we gotta get big revenge for another character, because everyone wants revenge. Oh, we're right here. How convenient. But like, fucking everyone in this game is on a revenge mission. It's remarkable. No. Right, let's turn my controller on. There you go. There we go. I'm gonna need you for the race. So how do I do the revenge? That's what I'm wondering, like... How do I help her? Aren't I just driving? Am I supposed to run him off the road, maybe? I guess quick save? No! 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 Okay.
Claire, hey.
Finals upon us, V. Big day's here.
Sure is. Want to meet up? I'm already here.
Yep, but listen. This will be highway driving, so we'll want a machine that runs on lightning. Your choice. Your rig or my beast?
Beast's my choice. What do you say?
We won't be sorry.
We meeting at the starting line?
That's right. Wait for me there.
I'm already here. This game has a really weird issue with me going to locations, then getting the briefing of the mission after I'm already there.
What a damn shame.
And it makes V in universe just fucking weird. Like all of his behaviors are baffling.
What the hell else do you have? Whatever, asshole. And to you.
Yeah, let's do keyboard and mouse till we're actually driving.
Done, Samson.
Get away from me, you whack.
No remorse? Not a bit?
None whatsoever.
What's going on here?
Samson, Dickspert thinks I'm gonna let him go. You're dead. You hear me?
This your new driver? I'd get out while I could if I were you. Claire can't seem to keep her partners alive for long.
You motherfucker!
Truth is, Dean was as shit a husband as he was a driver. Head swelled lots larger than he could manage, and he paid for it. Face the facts. I didn't kill him. His ego did.
You're a waste of organic matter, Samson. You're Corpo trash. Got a dozen bullets with your name on them.
Fuck off.
Claire, enough. Come on.
Not to worry, sugar.
Do something for me.
Hank gonna
Yeah?
give you your
Close up his
favorite
tail.
massage
Stay
afterwards.
All right, not now, champagne.
We'll celebrate.
If you win today,
not the time, champagne.
we gonna take you straight to
Just-
paradise,
It's a
Mother.
bad. All right, champagne. I'm still a little confused about this. So, like, on one hand, like they're making it like they want you to just they want you to be uncomplicated in your feelings here. They want you to be like, that guy's a bad guy, and he killed her husband, and he doesn't even feel bad about it, and he's like he's a horrible person, and he's an asshole, and he's annoying, and he's Corpo. Like, just add every single possible thing to the list just to keep you stacked against him, to make this like an uncomplicated, cathartic revenge mission. That seems to be what they're going for here. But at the end of the day, like, we don't have the most immersive read of these races because I keep just pulling ahead to first place and then just driving alone while they all freak out and teleport everywhere. But like, didn't they repeatedly reinforce the idea that you're allowed to shoot each other in these races, and that these are like death races and so on? And I'm pretty sure people have been kind of shooting at me from the distance in the background, and like this is not a race car. This is an armored vehicle. It looks like a twisted metal vehicle, like not one designed for racing. It's like a really tall armored thing designed to keep us alive because people are going to shoot us. Like, it seems everyone is generally understood that these are like murder races. And I don't remember the exact dialogue given to us, but it really seemed like she tried to spell it out about how like the way that her husband died wasn't like just a normal death in one of these races where people die all the time. It was like a magical, special, super bad death that needs to be avenged because it was a murder, unlike all the other deaths. And I feel like it was dismissed in like one line of dialogue really quickly in a way where it's like it's not really clear how his death was so morally repugnant when all the other deaths are somehow just a thing that happens. So despite the attempts to uncomplicate everything, I still feel like this thing is somewhat complicated by the fact like these are death races and someone died in a death race, and it's like, what did you fucking expect? Like, it's weird, right? I just feel weird about this part.
Okay, folks, get to your rigs. Time to crunch some steel and bash some heads.
Is that a jackhammer? What is that in the back? You couldn't unload that for speed? What is that in the back? Some sort of... I just ran over that car! Like over the top. Yeah, see, everyone shoots you. Why aren't we getting revenge on those guys for trying to kill us? Okay, so it's like a following mission in a GTA game. Like you have to stay near him so that she can shoot him a lot. And then eventually he'll blow up. What? Because this is the thing that happens all the time. Why was she supposed to be shooting in the other races? Is it just that I usually wasn't really in range where I had to worry about that? Oop, for a second there I thought he was taking that exit. Alright, I'm staying close to Samson. I actually kind of wonder, could I pass Samson? It feels like he's actually like almost reverse rubber banded. Like he'll stay ahead of me no matter what. Yeah, this is like, I can't go faster than this. These races are just always scripted and rigged one way or another. It's some exciting gameplay. Slowly following somebody on the freeway. Where there's no obstacles and turns. The freeway is the least interesting place you could possibly race in a video game. Because you're just holding down the right trigger and driving. I can't even run him off the road. Look, he's fucking perfect. Look at him. Look how fucking perfect his weird bullshit car is. It's so much smaller than mine, and I can't even do like a pit maneuver. This is so half-baked. Like, there's nothing... What is this quest? Like, ignoring even the writing issues where I'm like, I don't know if you really explored this the way you should have. I'm just like, mechanically, it's nothing. I'm just now I'm not even steering. I'm just holding that right trigger in a straightaway for a very long time, while she does damage to his invisible health bar that exists, I assume. And then he'll probably die right before we get to the end. We're only 2/3 of the way through the race because there's a checkpoint count in the top left, so we just gotta kind of wait for us to get there. He did go mysteriously slow earlier, but right now I straight up can't catch him. This is just how fast this vehicle goes. I hope it works. I feel like he's just scripted to explode at a certain checkpoint count if you spend X percentage within a range of him or something. His car's been on fire for a while. Hey. See, he can pit maneuver me just fine. Look at this shit. That was really unfortunate. Please don't make me start the race over. That was really funny that he's just carrying me around. Look at all these other racers. But Claire, we're gonna lose the whole race if we don't... Ah, you're gonna lose the race to get him. My god. Are we gonna confront him in person? The quest, yeah, the race is just gone. We don't give a shit about the race. It was all for this all along. Okay, so yeah, he was always gonna turn off at a specific turning point. And then we were gonna confront him. No, your revenge is gone. What the fuck? Those skid marks are in the sky. Those are skid marks in the sky. You're seeing this, right? Look at those. Those are street skid marks in the sky.
Claire, please don't! I didn't do anything!
You pathetic worm. Is that so?
Hey, no, please! Don't let her do this! Claire, I beg you! Jesus, Claire, what the fuck do you want? I didn't kill Dean!
Zip your trap!
He got himself killed, for fuck's sakes! Please let me go!
Talk your way out of this.
What's he talking about?
Doesn't matter. He's just trying to save his skin.
No, please, don't let her! I didn't kill her husband!
I said shut your hole!
Claire, wait. want to hear him out.
What for?
What do you got to say, Samson?
Dean tried to pass me just before the finish line, but he lost control.
You rammed us!
Even so, is that against the rules? It's this kind of racing.
Is that true, Claire? That Samson did what anyone would do?
It doesn't matter! The bastard killed Dean! He has to pay for it!
What do you want from me? You killed... like everyone!
Claire, it was an accident. It's racing.
I loved him. Loved him more than life itself, and now I'm supposed to let I'm supposed to let this shit go? That what you expect?
Yes, Claire. You'll let him go.
Ha! You're fucking kidding me.
He might be a grade A Corpo shit, but he didn't murder Dean. And flatlining him won't make you feel any better.
You might be right, V,
Thank God.
but I don't give a shit.
Wait, no! Your husband wasn't the saint you think!
Jesus. He was going for a new strategy. Okay, so that's why the excuse felt weak, was because canonically it is a bullshit distinction. Or for some reason he's the bad guy for doing what everyone was doing, including you. Well, she got what she wanted, I guess. And it is morally fraught. You loved him more than life itself, then maybe you shouldn't have let him do death, like fucking death contests.
Your husband, what was he like?
I'd like to sleep in.
Wow.
Getting more and more. Scared I'll lose what's left of him.
Won't forget what matters most. How he made you feel.
Yeah.
You're all right, Claire.
What? Why?
You look pretty down.
I'm not. To be honest, don't think I feel anything.
It's okay. You'll get better.
What will?
Well, everything, I guess. We'll move on.
The only place I want to go right now is my liquor cabinet.
Any desire to do it again? Team up? For a race, I mean.
No, V. In fact, not gonna race ever again.
Ever?
Ever. That was something we had. Something Dean and I shared. I just needed you to get Samson.
Well, this is concerning. I don't know, you let your husband do death races all the time. Did it with him, and then one day he died of the death races, and then you blamed other people for that. Why didn't you let us pass you? You hit us, how dare you?
It's not mine. It belonged to me and Dean. But since we are no more... Take care, V, and watch those turns or you'll end up wrapped around a lamppost.
I'm the one that did all the driving. I don't think you even do any driving besides these little taxi moments. I feel like you don't have a leg to stand on. Well, that quest chain was weird. Yeah. But now it's over. That was very strangely contextualized. The great Nomad saga continues. Pan Am's up to something. That girl just doesn't know when to quit, and my god, I love her for it. You don't seem to know either, considering you want to go back there. Maybe you could save us all some time, pitch a tent out in the desert. Think we both know this isn't about the job anymore. Generally speaking, no. I don't really need pay. It sounds like he literally didn't even... Cause yeah, it stood out to me that, like, what? You're your husband got murdered during a death race, and she was like, this is different, V. There was like a straightaway or like whatever, and like I don't remember exactly what she said in response, but whatever it was, like it wasn't convincing at all at the time. So I was like, what was that supposed to mean? Like, how did that justify anything? And now that we get the exact explanation, it's like, fucker didn't even get shot. Like, they didn't even shoot him. Like, they did a normal, well, not normal race. You're not supposed to ram people in like normal races in real life, but in like hardcore media races, like people totally hit each other with their cars in order to stop each other from getting by. I do that whenever I'm playing a racing game. And this is the next level one where everyone's allowed to shoot each other with automatic rifles. Like, oh yeah, he did a little ramming, he did a little pit maneuver when you tried to pass him in a straightaway. That makes him the bad guy. I thought we all signed up for this. Like, it's kind of a it's just like, it kind of makes her frustrating. I get it, like it's because she loves somebody and they died, and so you can't argue with her feelings because they're not justified based on the things she's saying. It's just that she's angry, and regardless of what being her fault or not, she just wants revenge. That's the goal. No Life 3 review. After 50 long years, the wait's finally over. Well, it's a long time. The third and final installment of the No Life series will be available for purchase tomorrow. As has been reported already, gamers should not expect any major shakeups in regard to the protagonist. I would hope that for some shakeups after 50 years. We still play as the strong silent type scientist Baron Frymensch. We follow Baron as he ventures to the Arctic Circle too. Well, why spoil it when you can have your hands on it in less than 24 hours? Because it's a review? The gist? With Alice at Baron's side and trusty crowbar in hand, these nasty aliens are in for a rude awakening. That's not a review. Is this what CD Projekt Red thought the reviews of their game would be like? Just a PR, like, advertisement? You just take the press copy that you send out, like the ones that I have like 700 of in my inbox right now from various games, and just print that as a review, like a fucking sizzle reel? That wasn't even remotely a review in any way. There wasn't a single claim as to the quality of the game, I don't think. I think I've read Dubai before.
V, you're here.
What is he doing here? I forbade you from even breathing on that Militech convoy, so you call in your friend? To do it all behind my back?
River, no! Fuck.
That's exactly why I had V come and stand right in front of you. Do you think I'm that stupid?
I am starting to wonder.
Sounds like it. What happened?
I shouldn't talk about this on the holo. We gotta meet.
When and where? Tell me.
Glenn, tonight. I'll flick you the details. Will you make it?
Do my best.
Thanks, V. Till then.
Tonight? He's like, tonight, are you gonna make it? But it says wait for the coordinates from River. Is he gonna send them to me in text? There they are. I guess I'll do this now, because he said tonight. It sounds like maybe I have to do it or else. But I don't really know. There's two problems here. One, the fucking game doesn't script for you. They don't check whether or not you're currently having a quest dialogue before they give you another fucking phone call, which is its own problem, because they have a bunch of, like, different unlock requirements of, like, different things triggering at different times based on timers or whatever. Which would be helpful if the game just had real conversations, because if you had real dialogue with people, with, like, cutscene style, then you wouldn't get interrupted in the middle of it like this. But the other element here is that you get a phone call in this game and it's like, press T to answer the phone. Just kidding. You literally can never not answer the phone in this game. If you've, it's unavailable. Is it because I'm locked into the other quest already? Why can't I use this? Go away. I guess I'm doing this quest then. I can't fast travel. It's turned off. I guess because I'm in the middle of the quest. But yeah, like it says press T to answer the phone. You can't not answer the phone. It answers itself after like 2 seconds. So it's just like, you can't even ignore it and pick it up later in these situations where it's interrupting something. It's like, there's so many fixes for this, but it's like these two different annoying systems are interacting with each other, and now you gotta like panic because your conversations are overlapping each other.
Damn it to hell, Saul. Are you seriously considering letting that basilisk slip through our fingers?
Sorry, I don't know. Can you start over?
But a chance like this.
A chance at what? Rotting up the job we came here to do? We're pissing Militech off, so they hammer us into the dirt right here.
Shit! Pan Am, can you please tell him?
I've already tried. Let it go, Mitch.
The Biotechnica people will be here in an hour. Try not to cock anything else up before then.
What is the quest?
I can't believe it. Look, there he goes, off to paint the grass green.
I missed all the context.
Being unusually quiet. What's up?
I see no point in arguing with Saul. We can't win.
So, giving up?
Of course not. We'll take the basilisk ourselves, then wait for Saul to admit we were right.
Either that, or to boot us out of the family.
Thought the Biotechnica contract had withered and died.
Saul insists we see it through to the end. To prove the Aldecaldos keep their word.
Crop protection! Who gives a damn about crop protection? All Saul is going to prove is that a corp can walk all over us, and we'll say thank you and ask for more.
What's this basilisk nonsense?
It's an armored Militech cargo panzer. Junk from back in 2060 or so. They want to peddle it off to a backwards country, somewhere it can still pass as a technological wonder.
The Militech convoy will take the 101 right past us. Shame not to say hello.
Let me guess. Whole thing's your idea.
How did you know?
Saul wouldn't be quite so pissed if it weren't.
I believe V is right. If this had been Saul's idea, he would have seen it as the greatest plan on God's green earth.
Bull. Saul isn't that petty. He's simply a coward. He would rather play it safe, bide his time. For the family.
I'm glad V seems to think that he knows Saul as a person, because I don't have any read on his personality and would never make a claim like that.
Is this basilisk worth another fight with Saul?
Yes, a craft like that would finally put us back on the right path.
The family is falling apart. If we fall into this Biotechnica rut, no one will ever take us seriously again.
Okay, so you do want to go behind Saul's back, and drag me here specifically for that.
Cassidy, Ted, Carol, and Bob, also on board.
Remember a while back, told me to give you a solid kick in the pants if I saw you diving in the stupid pool again.
I do, yet that was before our tandem raid on the Raven camp. I believe you lost your opportunity there.
Nope, different that. Rescue mission. Someone from the family. Now, you're out to plain trick 'em.
If you plan to lecture me, you can damn well go right now.
Why Saul got his briefs in a bunch over this basilisk?
He's afraid Militech will destroy us if we pick a fight with it.
He thinks it's safer to stick with the corporations, like Biotechnica. What a joke.
You guys would rather...
We would rather go back to plying the trade we know best. Logistics.
Meaning smuggling.
That's what I said.
Thought you and Saul agreed to bury your carbines.
So did I. But it seems that's only true when somebody is trying to kill us.
Exactly. You saved his life. You want to fuck things up all over again now?
I saved his life, yet somehow he still ignores everything I say. So I do believe we have come full circle.
And you plan to grab the basilisk how?
Thanks, V.
Haven't said I'd help just yet.
Okay, let's go talk to the rest.
Whoa, steep.
So, just the 4 vets on board with the plan. Nobody else?
We didn't bother asking the others.
There was too great a risk someone would take it to Saul.
Besides, only the vets understand what we have to gain by having a basilisk.
Sounds pretty risky to me.
On the contrary, easy as pie. There won't even be much security on the convoy. Plus, we'll be doing our part towards furthering the cause of world peace.
You want to make sure everyone else hears this conversation?
Wind up being used in some little third world skirmish.
Is that why we're yelling?
We'll make better use of it right here in America.
Did you try to get Saul on board again? No luck, huh?
No. Okay, everyone listen. Militech will transport the Basilisk in parts distributed across 2 trucks.
Wait, do I sense a quiver in your voice?
Fuck you! The convoy will halt at the railroad crossing on the 101. We'll attack from behind, then get the hell out and away. Questions? Comments? Motions?
Nice job, Sunshine.
Mm-hmm. Damn short, sweet, and pertinent.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay. Thanks. First, we'll ride to the station. The train engine we need to block the convoy's way is there. Are you riding with us, or will we meet you there?
Riding with you.
Excellent. Let's get going.
I think I heard a little shake in that voice.
You did not.
Ah, come on. Did you get your hands clammy too?
Screw you.
Just decided to revisit that conversation, huh?
Militech won't notice a thing.
Are you trying to insult me, Bobby?
Okay. Forget I even asked.
The script. Oh, I thought we were about to drive through them. The scripted mode driving vehicles just. Yep, there it is again. They look so fucking weird. They all move so strangely every time, at every moment.
Nobody's gonna notice you gone back at camp?
Saul has no wish to see us there anyway. The better to make a good second impression on the Biotechnica suits.
Why are you talking over
Sour
comms?
faces wouldn't help much.
Indeed, they would not.
I'm right here. What's going on?
The Raffens, what about them? You expecting any trouble?
Saul is. He's posted sentries all around the camp.
How's that not right?
He's wrong in continuing to fight the symptoms rather than the disease.
Are you okay? You need some water?
You don't miss life in Night City?
At times, perhaps. I miss the feeling of having a new beginning. Of freedom. But I also haven't forgotten the emptiness. The feeling of realizing it means nothing if you're alone.
Had a hard time leaving my family, too. I was never completely alone, either.
You had someone?
A true friend. Jackie by name. You would have liked him, actually.
Jackie. I remember that.
Yeah, they're like weightless. They're like moving on rails, and they take turns impossibly quickly with no weight and no lean and fishtailing. They don't move the way that the cars move from experience of you driving them. Like, that's just not what it looks like when you drive a car in this game. And they start and stop instantly. It's so weird.
We should just hijack the train. Let the Basilisk go on its way.
Yeah, then just drive this beast to the 101. There and back.
Saul would be on board with that.
Are we ready? Okay.
What you looking at?
The Militech convoy will be traveling from Night City to the base where they're due to meet the buyer. We will stop it at the railroad crossing.
All we have to do is shove this beauty in its way.
V, any questions?
She seems to be typing into a Twitter feed, but sideways.
Seems to be a lot of abandoned stations around.
This one belonged to a corporation that ran a cement factory. They used it as their reloading point.
They didn't take the train engine when they left?
The engine's been here going on 40 years. Since the Blackwall days.
For a time, everybody had to go back to the old ways. This engine ran on nuclear. Like submarines do.
All the weirder they left it behind.
Corpse. They probably listed it in a spreadsheet as cost optimization.
It's old tech. Carol will have to hack it.
Then I'll somehow have to finagle authorization from the control tower to move it.
Tower looks inactive to me, too.
Yeah, we'll see to that. You and Pan Am just get the authorization code.
Okay, let's get to work.
All right. Pew pew. Easy.
That was quick.
America, a prophecy. No pop-up to read that one. Kind of wanted to. Oh, here it goes. It's just catching up. Give it a minute. She walked straight through me.
As it is, then.
The terror answered, I am Orc, wreathed round the accursed tree. The times are ended, shadows pass, the morning gins to break. The fiery joy that Urizen perverted to 10 commands. That, I was not expecting a poem. That stony law I stamp to dust and scatter religion abroad. To the four winds as a torn book, and none shall gather the leaves. But they shall rot on desert sands and consume in bottomless deeps. To make the deserts blossom and the deeps shrink to their fountains, and to renew the fiery joy and burst the stony roof. That pale religious lechery seeking virginity may find it in a harlot and in coarse-clad honesty. The undefiled, though ravished in her cradle night and morn. For everything that lives is holy, life delights in life. Because the soul of sweet delight can never be defiled, fires enwrap the earthly globe, yet man is not consumed. Amidst the lustful fires he walks, his feet become like brass, his knees and thighs like silver, and his breast and head like gold. I'm confused about all these words that end with ed, but instead of an e, it's apostrophe, like defiled and consumed. Like consumed, like how do you pronounce it faster or shorter? Like apostrophe means like a contraction, right? A contraction? Is there P in that? Contraction. Don't remember which version of that word, whatever. But yeah, it's like usually it's a word that's shortened or it's two words merged together, but like if you're just replacing the E with apostrophe, I don't see how you pronounce that D in any other way than when it was spelled ED anyway. Like how does that change the pronunciation? Oh well.
Do you need a light?
Well done. Thanks, boys.
It's funny because I don't go out of my way to rag on the game. It's just that it keeps presenting me with endless stuff to talk about. Like, wow, those cars are sure driving weird, and while I'm still trying to think about how weird they're driving, she starts talking to me over the fucking voice comms.
Converge.
Junctions.
Yes, those. When you see them from above, you feel
Free. Like you could set off on 1,000 journeys all at once.
perhaps more simply hopeful.
Dope. You also got a flight of fancy to go fling the city the moment the quest chain ends. Are you also gonna be sending me messages when you go to like... You're gonna go to like... Nevada? And you're like, wow, gee, look, it's a photo of Nevada. And I'll be like, wow, it's a photo of Nevada.
Would you help me look?
Sure
It would be easy peasy. Punch cards, instructions. Each position on the card, punched, unpunched, corresponds to a unit of information, while each column represents one character or symbol. When gently inserting the card into the reader, please remind to do the following. Check for any damaged punched holes, which may corrupt the reading. Make sure cards are inserted in the proper order. Double check that the card description matches the data encoded on it.
Nada. Not here.
It's just, why is there just a wad of money here?
Look thoroughly, please.
Well.
Easy. But who are these people that like, oh, time to close up. We're not gonna work here anymore. I'm just gonna leave my wad of cash here.
Got something.
Good job. Carol! We have a card! What now?
You have to put it in the reader!
Well, V, the card in the reader.
You're acting all fucking indignant, like I'm not already doing it. But you just asked her what to do with the punch card. What answer were you expecting? I'm a video game player that's not allowed to do anything without being told to do it first, so I have an excuse.
Here goes nothing.
Here we go.
Come look.
Little engine that could.
Euro Cobbadon.
V, I wanted to speak with you.
You're happier out here. You can smell it a mile off.
Surely you joke. I'm about to put my family at risk, get a dressing down from Saul, and possibly be kicked out of the family. And you say I seem happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're doing what you think's right for the Aldecaldos. Even though it's hard. Even though you're shitting your pants.
Dear God, so you can see it too.
Also, I can smell happiness.
Because it's all for the family, right? Not that you want to kick Saul out. Take his place as the head of the clan.
Not another word from you. All right. And you, why are you doing this? I know that I asked you for help myself, but why did you agree?
Because it's important to you.
But is that all? Sorry, that sounded worse than I intended. Listen, V, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this. Speaking of my feelings and so forth. And I would not want to cut this up.
Well, that's a start.
The thing is, I usually act before I think.
Uh-huh, noticed.
I know. But I also need impulses to act upon. When I do something spontaneously, I feel I'm being honest. Yet with you, I prefer to play it safe.
Don't feel any impulse at all right now? Shame. I was hoping you did.
I do. But I fear I'll do or say something foolish and be left alone in the desert. I would rather keep you close. If only as a friend.
Try following the impulse next time.
Okay. Well, in any case, you've been warned. All right. Let's rejoin the others.
Hit! Just right out the window. I have a shortcut. Something up here? Nothing. I can't jump. I can't mantle over that, and I can't do my super jump. Woo! First. God, you're so slow. Or is she here already? No. B, do you know where Pan Am is? I'm not our babysitter. For crying out loud, I don't care what's going on between you two. I'm just asking. Can't give me a straight answer? That was a pretty straight answer. It's if you can read any implications. When you see her, tell her I'm looking for her. It wasn't. That was not an ambiguous response by me. Going to the Nomads at the junction. Ow! I'm on fire. Consider yourself joined. Now you really do have to wait for her. Was she talking the whole time?
Sit your ass down a minute, honey. And breathe.
Everything's under control. The convoy is already heading our way.
You worried about Saul?
Did that beer just materialize between my legs? Did I imagine that?
You're acting spooked. As if you're the first person ever to stand up to Saul.
Oh, save your breath. I don't need to be consoled.
What's wrong with their glasses?
Was it someone I know?
They're like floating around.
Scorpion.
You came home from the war, head full of new ideas, and a host of new contacts.
He tried to get Saul to lead us in joining Snake Nation. It would make us stronger, he said.
I don't think he peeped a word of it to me. What did Saul do?
Saul dressed the guy down head to toe for messing with the family. Hell, he didn't send him on any jobs for a year.
Gee, really consoling. Thanks.
You said yourself you didn't need any.
So what's happening is her face is being distorted by the fire fumes going wibbly wobbly, but her glasses are staying completely still, so it looks like they're floating around. They look like when you, like when as a YouTuber you like make something show up on the screen and then you try to make it move around to match up with something, like when I'm trying to censor something.
Ought to raise a glass to Scorpion.
You alright, buddy?
And to Jack.
Scorpion.
You know the rest of that song or just that one riff? Alright.
Saul was right about Snake Nation. You should remain independent. Otherwise, you could end up like
the backers. We'll manage just fine on our own. All we need is a few good jobs. To get people talking about the Aldecaldos again.
And that's why we're here today.
Scorpion would be proud.
Can somebody please tell me what happened to the backers? My character already knows, so it doesn't even make sense that it's a secret to me. I don't know my own history. It's really frustrating.
You don't talk about the war much.
There's a cigarette on the butt. Alright. Huh.
What's there to say? They just packed you into a Panzer down in Mexico and said full speed ahead, soldier.
And it was weeks talking either to yourself or the onboard AI, drinking iodide like water because your Geiger wouldn't shut up.
Mm-hmm. I'm sprouting a rash on my ass just thinking about sitting in that boiling hot coffin.
Uh-huh. But you all can't wait to pack your asses into the basilisk, huh?
That's different.
Completely different. You'll see once you're on board.
I'm gonna try and get some sleep.
Okay, it'll be quite some time before the convoy comes through.
Growing kind of cold out here.
Not true. But this is nice.
Catch some shut-eye with me.
I'll just lie here a while, by your side, gazing at the stars.
Is that another area of your expertise? You got maps of the heavens in your library, too?
Of course. That's the Big Dipper. And do you see the small flickering star to the right?
Yeah.
You do? Oh dear. That means there's a major leak. Good night, V.